Welcome, everyone, to the latest edition of the Sight Screen Cricket Journal podcast. I'm your host, Tawhid Qureshi, and today we've got a great guest. He's in Bangladesh at the moment. He's playing in the BPL, the Bangladesh Premier League. He's also played previously for the Birmingham Phoenix, Gloucestershire, of course, as well, in county cricket. He's lit up franchise tournaments that he's appeared in all around the world. He's Benny Howell. Really lucky to have him on. Welcome, Benny.
Thank you. Good to be on.
It's great to have you on. I know we've tried to speak for a little while, so it's great that you've managed to find the time during a hectic schedule out there in Bangladesh. How's it going?
Well, it's coming to an end, but hopefully not as soon as we would like. We have one more game tomorrow. It's a must-win game. Depending on other results, if we win, then we go through the playoffs. So it's been good. It's been a bit of a roller coaster with wins and losses, but as you expect in a tournament. So yeah, tomorrow's a big one.
Absolutely, as you were saying, we're kind of entering the sharp end of the tournament. Only a game or two left now in the sort of first phase. So yeah, absolutely, all to play for. Well, we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Let's just kick off the conversation by talking about the Bangladesh experience. I understand you've actually been to Bangladesh. Well, it's not your first visit, put it that way. You've been a few times, so you're kind of maybe not an old hand, but you're certainly used to the unique Bangladesh experience.
Yeah, no, nothing was a surprise from the day I arrived at the airport and the chaos of getting the visas through, from there to the hotel and the traffic and all the rest of it. Yeah, it wasn't a surprise, but I love the culture here. It's so different to any sort of experience that you have in England and in the western side of the world. So yeah, it's great to experience the culture once again and. Yeah, enjoy the cricket here. I really do. They love it. They're passionate about everything when it comes to cricket. So especially the BPL. So yeah, it's been a good experience so far.
Absolutely, and it's, as I was saying, yeah, it's not your first appearance in the BPL, so you're obviously kind of used to how the tournament plays out, I guess. But interested to find out, how or why you've kind of ended up playing in the BPL this year, particularly, I guess, because just looking at the PSL, which is taking place at the same time, a whole raft of players from England in the PSL. I mean, it's interesting to kind of compare the two competitions, I guess. It's clearly, the PSL gets more I guess, kind of publicity, kind of airtime. It's got more prominence, I would say, as a franchise tournament. So, in terms of comparing both tournaments, how do you sort of view things?
Yeah, but you got it spot on, probably. I think PSL is a very big tournament. I think it's organised incredibly well from what it looks like. It's televised. It's some pretty high standard of cricket. Some top players go and play there. But unfortunately, I wasn't selected in the original draft, and I was in the supplementary draft. But yeah, team in Bangladesh here, the Chattogram, offered me a deal before. So, I'm not going to rely on a supplementary draft to get picked in that. And I'm happy to be here because you still have some pretty high standard of cricket here. You still got some big players here. Moeen Ali's here. Chris Gale's obviously here. Dwayne Bravo. Some big guns are here. So it's still very good cricket. I'm yet to experience the PSL, so I can't compare it from experience. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to play in the PSL at one point. But at the minute, I've really enjoyed playing here in the Bangladesh, and it always has its challenges for sure on the pitch and off the pitch. But I always relish them.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely. And I think just the one point I would make on sort of comparing both of those tournaments, yeah, I think the BPL does go under the radar, but as you've sort of said, in this year's tournament, there have been some great games, some really good performances, and some decent cricket on show. So yeah, let's kind of talk about the Chattogram Challengers campaign thus far. So yeah, I think you started off the tournament really well. Slight kind of destabilizing effects of this sort of change of captaincy that took place. Mirage was obviously captain at the start. You've actually had 3 captains in total, and also Paul Nixon going home after sort of a week or two of the campaign as well. So clearly there was a bit of a destabilizing kind of effect sort of after that. Do you feel now the group has kind of regrouped again and kind of ready to kind of take on the challenge again?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure the captain changes and all of that stuff that happened sort of outside of our playing group, with the owners making decisions stuff really affected us on the pitch. In a sense, we did start losing a few games. So, I mean, who knows, maybe it did, but it didn't feel like it. I just don't think we performed well enough when we started losing a few on the trot, to be honest. We didn't, especially with the bat, we didn't quite make the most of some good starts from Wheeljacks, and in the middle we didn't quite sort of build like a nice foundation and platform to hit out the end like we did in the first few games. So that was really our downfall. I'm not sure it was to do with a captain change or anything like that. I mean, as far as I'm aware. And with Nico going home, I think he was always planning to go home. He has to go back to Leicestershire, so Sean Tate took over, and yeah, he just kept the ball rolling from when Nico started it. So look, we're in a position where we can qualify for win tomorrow, so we've got to we've got to do that now. And it does look like from last game we got a really nice close win. Our first win, that was really close. Well, our first game, that was really close. So that's really good that we got that under our belt, because that puts us in good stead if it does happen again, especially now at crunch time when it's every game now for us is a must win. And to win really tight games is so key, because you can win from any situation and you can handle the pressure. So that's exactly what we did last game, and yeah, bring it on tomorrow in our first knockout, really.
Absolutely, and yeah, I think you're right. I think regardless of changes in captaincy, there's a lot of experience in your team and in the coaching setup. Having Sean Tate there now as head coach is obviously a great thing, and I think he's actually just been or will take up a role in the Pakistan national team. So vastly experienced coaching staff there. Yeah, just interested to kind of pick out a few individuals in the team and kind of how they've performed, as well as your own performance, of course. But yeah, let's start by looking at the fact that there is a bit of an English connection within Chattogram Challengers. As we were saying, Paul Nixon was there for the early sort of phase of the campaign. Wheeljacks is there with you at the moment. Does that make kind of things, and okay, Sean Tate's not English, but he
lives in England. He lives in London, so he's married to Indian English woman and they live in England. So yeah, he sort of calls himself half English, even though we know he's Aussie.
We'll claim him. We'll claim him as
English
outside,
as well.
Why not? But I mean, does that make things easier for you in terms of just your whole experience in Bangladesh?
It does.
Your experience in the team.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we also have the analyst who's English, which is just handy because I'm big on getting my research in. So to be able to, it's easy to communicate, because even though we can communicate with the Bangladeshi lads who speak English, it's still we got to speak slower. They got to speak slower for us to understand. So it's always a bit more challenging. So to have a few guys of used to our culture, and we can hang out during the days off or in the evenings, it's been good. We've actually hung out quite a lot, and we've done some fun quizzes and stuff together, which we wouldn't normally do back home. So it's actually been a good fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you have so much downtime kind of in between the games, and you're obviously stuck in the hotels for so many hours. That sort of thing really must make a difference when you can sort of socialize sort of easily with others. I was speaking to Jake Clintott a few weeks ago. He said he'd sort of taken up playing the guitar, and that's kind of one of his kind of ways of spending all the time that he has. Have you taken up a new hobby or anything like that?
No, but we actually have a deaf bowler in our side. So I've been looking, not taking up a hobby, but I've been trying to learn some sign language, so I can communicate with him. He's actually a very good bowler. He hasn't played yet. And also learning a few Bangla words and doing some sort of social media stuff with the Chattogram media team. They're quite popular on Facebook and doing some fun, silly things with them. So that I wouldn't normally do back home. So yeah, apart from my normal downtime reading and watching Netflix, yeah, that's been something different that I've done whilst I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must be fascinating that you've got, you know, someone hard of hearing in your squad, in your team, who's, you know, like you say, an active playing member. You know, I've sort of seen video footage of him sort of bowling in the nets to everyone. I mean, that must be a totally new experience for you.
It's incredible. I mean, he's such a lovely lad as well. Like he's just, you can tell he could communicate through actions and obviously messaging and everything like that. Absolutely normal, but he's a lovely lad as well. And bloody hell, he's a good bowler. I tell you, it's amazing what he can do. He can actually play a bit of football as well. We're playing a lot of football in warm-ups in training, and he's actually quite good at that. He's pretty damn good at that as well. So yeah, I haven't seen that before, but it's been great. It's been great.
I mean, it would be brilliant if he actually gets selected to play a game. But yeah, let's see if that happens. So just kind of concentrating then on some of the sort of local Bangladesh players. I mean, you've mentioned one or two of them already in your team. I think one of the sort of things that's impressed me sort of the most is, you know, the crop of fast bowlers, young Bangladesh fast bowlers in the team. So I think we all kind of know quite a bit about Shoreful Islam now. You know, he's had a phenomenal rise over the last sort of year or so from that under-19 World Cup winning team. You know, he's now sort of captain all three formats of the game. Seems like he's been around for a little while, and, you know, he's obviously had a good tournament. But then the other two bowlers I've particularly been impressed with are Mitonjoy, who, like you were saying, had that, closed out the game the other day. I think he was defending 11 off the last over, and you ended up winning that by 5 runs. So fantastic performance there. And I think he's picked up a hat-trick as well, of course. And then you've got Raja as well, Reja Raza in the team. So, yeah, how have they impressed you?
They're talented, seriously talented bowlers. I tell you, they're really talented. But what's impressed me most about them is their ability to learn. And what I mean by that is understanding game situations and what fields are really relevant in a certain game. So particularly bowling at a death, how to bowl to particular batters, and being able to set their own field and not have someone tell them what to do. And I think they've been very quick to learn what works and what doesn't work, and improve, and they're improving on that because they're very young still. Because it's so important in T20 cricket, getting your fields right and actually bowling and executing to your fields without being too predictable as well. So Sean Tate's worked well with them there actually, and they've really listened, and they've actually gone out their comfort zone and knocked on his room and door to speak to him about bowling and learn and everything like that, which is not. I don't see much of that normally. And normally, you know, some Bangladeshi lads are quite shy to ask, but they're really keen to learn. So along with their raw talent, as which you can see, they're keen to learn and improve. And obviously Mitonjoy showed that, and Shoreful obviously showed before, but he showed that, you know, you can handle the pressure, and he wanted the pressure, and which that is such a rare trait to find. And if you have that in a bowler, yeah, it's golden. So I've been impressed with those things, really.
It's really kind of encouraging to hear that the young Bangladesh bowlers are so willing to learn, and as you say, you know, having someone like Sean Tate there to coach them must be a fantastic opportunity, and it sounds like they're making the most of that opportunity.
Yeah, they are, which is great to see. And Sean Tate's actually been like, I really enjoyed his company because the way he thinks about the game, he does a lot of coaches I feel have their own philosophy, whereas he's very open with it, along with the experience, but also he's very open to learning and seeing how different people learn and improve. So he brings it a lot to the table in that sense. And when you're open as a coach, I feel like that's so important because he can work with so many different players.
For sure. And then just one last question on the sort of the local players that are in the team. Have you got someone that you kind of get on particularly well with? Someone, you know, that you're always kind of having a bit of a joke and a jape with?
No one in particular, really. They're all actually top lads. They're actually very good lads. I like the captain. Miraz is good. He has his wife and his little one who's similar age to one of my kids. So, yeah, very cute, walking around the hotel. So it just sort of reminds me of back home a bit. So sort of go see him and have fun with Miraz and his boy and chat around. So he's been someone I've got on with well. Even Sabir is a nice, calm lad actually, and unfortunately he's not been playing the last few games, but he seems like a good guy as well.
Yeah. And you've also got, of course, Anamel Hock Jr., who's a friend of mine. I've known him
of course,
for a little while. He's always a good guy.
Of course, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's always chatting. Obviously, he's probably the most, I guess, English out of all the Bangladeshi team mates. Obviously, he goes there a lot and plays, so he understands both cultures very well.
Absolutely, yeah, vastly experience. I met him back in 2005 for the first time when Bangladesh came over here on that tour of England many moons ago. So yeah, no, he's really nice.
Yeah, he's actually been sorry to interrupt. He's been teaching me a bit of learning how to bowl off spin. Like I've been working. I love the way he bowls, so trying to work on a few things and learn from the guys because there's so many good finger spinners here in Bangladesh. So because I want to, obviously, I've been working on my off spin and leg spin, so. The off spin, I'm taking a lot of advice and tips from, especially Anam. So, no, it's been really good.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean, let's go on to that then. I mean, I think you're someone who's renowned for constantly kind of innovating and learning sort of new ways of learning new deliveries, new balls to bowl. I remember listening or reading somewhere that you've got sort of something of upwards of sort of 50 odd variations kind of up your sleeve at any that you're kind of working on. Have you managed to kind of use your experience use your time in Bangladesh to kind of work on sort of new deliveries? Have you used any sort of new deliveries in matches so far?
Yeah, so the 50 comment a few years ago now in the cricket, it was just a bit of an exaggeration. It was just like, I have a lot basically, and then they quoted it, and everyone says I have 50, and they're like, oh yeah, bullshit. Well, no, I don't have 50, but there's a lot of variations that I use. Yes, in terms of very subtle variations from my medium pace run up and sort of a hybrid type bowler. But what I've been pleased about, I guess, in my own performance this year is not necessarily just the hitting that's come really good over here for myself. It's actually I've been able to be three different types of bowlers. So I've been the medium pace, what you've seen used to, running in, covering the ball, bowling knuckleballs, split fingers, cutters, seamers. I've done that, but I've also came in and literally bowled off spin to the left-handed batters, especially because it was a good matchup, and then to the right-handed batters, I bowled quick leg spin from literally just like a spinner's run up. So it's sort of a different style of bowling. So I've been working on that for a couple of years now. It's the first time I brought it out in a game, in a professional game. So it's not gone too bad. So I'm pretty pleased that I've managed to get it out there and to still improve and work on it.
Indeed, yeah. And let's hope that you've got a couple more games at least to show us some more of those variations. Just moving on then to your own sort of personal ambitions and how or what you see your future in the next kind of year or two. So obviously, as you were saying earlier, Moeen Ali's out there at the moment, who's kind of skippered the T20 team, the England T20 team recently in Owen Morgan's absence, and he's obviously someone you've played with at the Birmingham Phoenix in the hundreds. Presumably it's good that he's out there so that he can kind of see how you're progressing at kind of close quarters. Just thinking from your point of view in terms of your England ambitions, it must be good that he's out there with you.
Yeah, it's obviously great. Like, Mo's a top lad. He's very, very relaxed, but he's also a great thinker of the game. Those combos work really well, and that's why I think he works fantastic as a captain. I think it's a great balance, and I guess I always have my ambitions to play in the next level. So, to be honest, how I'm going to do that is I've just got to perform in any comp I'm in. So anything I'm in, I've got to perform. So I've got this competition, I've got the T20 Blast coming up in the summer. I've got the 100. So I've got to aim to do my absolute best in all of those, but also showcase the different variety of skills that I have, like I just talked about with my off spin, leg spin, and things like that. So if I can execute the variety of skills that I've been working on, then I think that's golden. And then who knows from there? I don't know. It's up to, I guess, England selectors whether they want to, or whether they can make room for someone like me if I'm performing. That's out of my control. So I guess still having those ambitions, I just want to perform in every single comp I'm playing in, and that's the way I'm going to go about it.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to recall, actually, have you actually bowled to Mo, or has he bowled to you in the tournament so far? I don't think you faced each other.
I don't think so. No. Haven't faced him yet.
Well,
I've bowled and faced him years ago when I played Worcester, but I don't think I've come across him in a game recently.
Well, it would be interesting if, the final of the BPL's Camilla Victorians versus Chattogram Challengers, and, you need a 6 to win. You're facing Mo. That would be quite an end. I think
he'd be worried if he was bowling right-hand batter. I'm not sure he likes to do that. So if it's in that situation, then that would be great.
And one other thing then, in terms of your personal ambitions. So as you said, you've got obviously the T20 Blast coming up, and obviously the 100 as well. And also there's an outside chance, I understand, that you might be involved in the IPL. So you are in the auction, or you're in the draft rather. But presumably, it's a fantastic thing that you're in the draft, but are you holding out any sort of realistic hopes of being involved?
No, I'm in it. If I get selected, I'm sure probably be a value pick if I am. So I haven't got high hopes for that, but I also don't have no hopes. So, you never know with IPL, I guess. I definitely think I'd add value to teams. However, there's a lot of top players in that draft. So I just guess we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. And that'll be tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, I think it's on Sunday. So let's keep fingers
crossed. We never know.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed for Sunday. Hope there's some good news there. And so then, in terms of your sort of immediately after the tournament, is there like a bit of a pre-season with Gloucestershire coming up?
Yeah, we're actually going to Dubai March 5th. So I'll be back home. Probably take a week or so off, and then I'll be flying back with Gloucestershire back this way. Well, not all the way this way, but to Dubai. So that'd be good fun. We've got our new coach, Dale Benkenstein, and new performance director, Steve Snell. So the club's gone through a transition phase and a change. So it'll be exciting to have some fresh coaching faces on and we'll see what they have for us, really.
Indeed. I mean, I'm more than sort of envious of the fact that you're in somewhere like Bangladesh at the moment, which is like probably about at least 20 degrees warmer than it is back here in the UK, and then you're going off to Dubai as well. That's fantastic for you.
It's nice.
In terms of, I'm just wondering, in terms of your red ball ambitions as well, is that something that you're hoping to sort of make more of an impression in?
Wait and see. I still enjoy playing red ball, but I'm still. It all depends on how the next few months develop with the pre-season and the new coach and where they see me as well. I'll probably have the conversation with the coaches when I get back and during pre-season and see where we're at. I mean, if I'm in the IPL, then I think that red ball continuation of play, I don't think is going to happen. But if I'm not, then I do want to play red ball cricket. So I guess we'll see when I have the conversations with the coaches back home.
Indeed, yeah. Let's see what the next few months bring about. I mean, I for one can't wait for the county season to get started. I think it's this time of year where it's like I say, where it is so cold back home. It's just a case of can't wait for the summer to get started. Just a couple of other questions then before I let you go. I know you've got some food on the go there, which I don't want that to get too cold. So yeah, let's just briefly talk about Will Jacks, who I think has had a fantastic tournament so far. I think he's something like fourth or fifth in the top run scoring charts for the tournament so far. I think he's scored about 350 so far. How good has it been to watch him at close quarters?
Yeah, he's good. He's very, very good player. I think he's unlucky not to have played for England yet, but he's only young. He has a whole range of shots. He can play 360, but he's also got such a simple game at the same time, if that makes sense. He hits strong shots, normal shots as well, if he wants to. So he's got a confidence. He's got this sort of youth, like, not arrogance when he plays, but like it's a sort of confident arrogance, which is so key for being a successful batter at any level and any elite level. And he's got that as well. And he's that, along with his skill, is impressive. So, I mean, he gets annoyed and he just hates getting out. Every time he gets out, he can't believe it. He's like, I could have got 100 there. And he actually believes it. So, yeah, it's a good trait to have. And he's obviously a top talent.
Yeah, I think he's certainly one to watch for the future. I mean, I'm a big Surrey supporter. I'm a Surrey member. So, yeah, I get to watch him quite a lot all the time. And yeah, he's certainly, I think, someone who's got big things ahead of him. So let's wrap things up then, Benny. Obviously, just to kind of say you've got this kind of game against Sylhet tomorrow. Sylhet Sunrisers, who are basically out of the tournament. They can't sort of qualify for the playoffs, but it's still kind of a must-win game for you, for Chattogram. Is there a bit of pressure at all going into the game for the team are feeling?
Not that I see that they're feeling. I mean, come game time, there's always pressure, and we know we've got to win. So I guess that will naturally come in. But I think it's more confidence. I think we're ready. I think, we know we've got to win, and that's what we've got to do. So, yeah, I think we've been pretty relaxed. We've only had a light training session today since the last game. So that's a good thing. So we'll be nice and fresh tomorrow and ready to go.
Well, just looking at how laid back you are at the moment, I think, that confidence certainly must be there in the team. So, yeah, let's finish off by saying, good luck tomorrow. Let's hope you make it to the playoffs. And I think, for me, like I've said, there's been some fantastic cricket being played throughout the BPL, and now that we've come to the sort of the crunch, sort of the business end of it, let's hope that continues.
For sure, let's hope so.
Great, brilliant to have you on, Benny. Best of luck, as I say, for tomorrow, and thank you everyone else out there for listening, for watching. As ever, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out the Twitter feed as well, Site Screen CJ, and I'm hoping to have more BPL conversations coming up very soon. So until next time, see you later.